Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Busta Rhymes the Great was in New Orleans playing the Essence Festival. While on stage, he had some choice words for the fans who was sitting down and messing around with their phones while he was performing. Busta Rhymes stopped the show and said, "Get y'all asses up. Get up out your seat. And all of y'all up there at the top, get y'all big headed asses up." Busta Rhymes got big headed. Fam, look, all's well ends well because Busta Rhymes got everybody to get up on their feet, and they say he tore the house down like he always does. I mean, it's very difficult to go to a Busta Rhymes show and not be blown away, not leave there sweating. Now, Busta always gonna get the sweat in, but when you're at a Busta Rhymes show, somehow, some way, you find yourself sweating. Even if the temperature in the room was ice cold before he hit the stage. Yeah, man. I can relate to a crowd not being all the way there with you. I mean, they're there to check you out and everything, but they're not all the way there yet for whatever reason. Perhaps the talent before them was too slow. Maybe, the show started really late, people kind of tired or whatever, so you got to re-energize them. You got to get out there and basically bring them back to life. Had a few of those. I also had a situation, I was going to say this for the book. Okay, I'll share it with you. When I had the Clean Up Man song out, Clean Up Man was number one on the R&B charts, R&B rap charts. I get booked to do a show in Dallas. I show up for sound check. And the venue has tables and chairs scattered about. Just tables and chairs. I'm looking at that, I'm like, man, I'm not about to perform in front of a bunch of people sitting on there. Man, get this stuff out of here. So I had my people to clear it out. Like, man, get rid of all of those tables, get rid of all of those chairs. In retrospect, if you look back on it, perhaps it wouldn't have been a bad idea for the promoter to get them some extra money since, people are doing tables and stuff. Tables are a big deal these days. But back then, tables was more so like just a reserve type thing. You didn't really have to pay for tables unless you went somewhere really, really, really high end. In any event, I was like, man, y'all need to clear this out. Yeah, man, that Clean Up Man song, it did it, man. I had all kind of older women coming at me, man. Women 30 years, 40 years older than me. Baby, what you know about being a clean up man? I'm like, move out the way, I'm trying to get to your daughter. Fam, Busta Rhymes was absolutely right, though. I don't even have to take a poll on this one. Busta Rhymes was right. He was well within his rights as a performing artist. Not some dude that just stand up on stage and go woo, go back and forth, lip syncing and all that. I'm talking about as a performing artist. He was well within his right to put the crowd on notice. Man, y'all get up out them seats, man. You're in the midst of royalty here, man. I'm not just up here getting cool points. I'm putting on a show. And the more y'all give me, the more I can give y'all. So I can absolutely relate to it. I absolutely agree with what Busta Rhymes said. And fam, come on now. Y'all know it's time for us to start living in the moment. Too many of us, we're preoccupied with our phones. Instead of us living in the moment, we're trying to record the moment. We get caught up in trying to record the moment. We get back on, we don't even know what happened. We don't even know who was standing around us or nothing, because we just looking in the phone the whole time and taking pictures and trying to get the perfect pose. We're trying to get the perfect pose instead of just living, instead of just being, embracing the moment, right? We got to get back to that. We're spending too much time on these phones when we are out doing other things. You see it at restaurants, you see it at concerts, you see it on the bus, everywhere you go. And I know sometimes it's cool to have your phone and let time go by, especially if you're waiting on something. But I've seen people get their head knocked off walking down the street on their phones, not paying attention to where they're going. People have walked right into traffic and got ran over. Some people have gotten hit in the head because they couldn't see the dangers before them. They couldn't see the dangers ahead of them because they wasn't paying attention to their surroundings. You gotta keep your head on the pivot at all times. Keep that head on the pivot. You dig what I'm saying? But what say you, fam? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talk.